Let's talk about how to create this cutout style transition effect, commonly seen in 3D platformer games. First, create the image you'll want to use as your cutout. Make sure to create the image in the same resolution your game will be in. So for example, I have mine set to 1920 by 1080. Next, make sure the part you want to cut out is white, while the rest of the image is transparent. Add this image to your project in Godot and create a new scene. I'm calling mine Cloud Transition Screen. Change the root node of the scene to be a color rect, and add an animation player as a child. Then set the color of your color rect to black. Set the size of your color rect to be full screen, and add a shader material with a new shader. Create two shader uniforms. First, a sampler 2D we'll call mask. This will contain the cutout image. And second, create a uniform float called scale. Add your image to the shader parameter, and additionally you can set a hint range for your scale's uniform. I'm setting mine between 0 and 1. In the fragment function, we're going to get the texture from the mask by calling the texture function, and we're going to index it with the UV multiplied by our scale. Then we're going to set the color's alpha value to 1 minus the mask color's alpha. You will notice that there's a problem here. As we move our scale from 0 to 1, the cutout appears from the bottom right of the screen. To fix this, we'll create a vector 2 called offset. This will be the vector 0.5 by 0.5 multiplied by 1 minus the scale. Then we can add this offset to our sampling of the mask texture. Now our cutout is in the center of the screen, but we have a new problem. When the scale reaches the value of 1, the image stops shrinking and the screen isn't completely black. To fix this, we'll need the range of the scale to be bigger than 0 to 1. I found a value of 75 worked well for me, so create a new float called S and set it to the scale multiplied by this value. Now the image will scale really small, but you'll notice there's two more issues. First, the image doesn't scale very smoothly when sliding the scale slider, and second, when you reach a value of 1, there's still a tiny bit of the cutout left. To fix the tiny leftover image, we'll set a cutoff value. Create an int variable called cutoff. This will be our S variable divided by the value we picked before, so in my case 75. By casting to an int, we're ensuring that the cutoff will be 0 until we hit our desired size of 75, and then at 75 the cutoff will be 1 and we can make the image entirely black. So take this cutoff value and add it to your color's alpha. Make sure to cast it as a float. To fix the unsmooth scale, we'll need to use an easing function. You can find tons of easing functions online, pick one you like, and apply the formula to your S variable. Here's just an example of an equation that I liked. Now you can just set up your animation player with your two transition animations. I like to name mine Fade to Black and Fade from Black. Animate the scale parameter of your shader from 0 to 1 and vice versa. And that's it. From here, you can change the speed of your animation, you can play with different easing equations, add sound effects, and add the transition screen into your game. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other ways of creating this effect, please post a comment below, and if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I hope to make more of these Godot tutorials in the future.